Tiger Udyr was the only viable playstyle in high elo, and I mean, I've been looking at a lot of the OPGGs from Udyr players, and nobody is playing Phoenix in high elo. The changes were just not strong enough to make Phoenix viable, so at this point it's one of those things where it's like, ugh. The only playstyle that kind of works right now just got nerfed, so good luck, boys. Hey, any aspiring challenger Udyr players, best of luck, friends. I wish you the best, because I sure as hell don't have the mental fortitude to do it right now. It's like, you just have such a small window. At high elo right now, I feel like you make one mistake and it's over. Jungle is so snowbally and it's so lane reliant that even the games where you, like, quote-unquote jungle well, sometimes it doesn't even matter if you just never get ganks off. Like, you can outpath enemy jungle as hard as you want. If they get ganks off and you don't, then you just lose. That's how that works, if you don't know. That's why usually when I'm, like, tryharding, I just level 2 cheese every game, because it guarantees I get a gank off at least once each game. It's very, like, most people don't expect the straight level 2 cheese. I don't know if we'll be able to kill. We can definitely probably get our flash, though. If Zoe flash here, it'll be a kill, but...
First blood.
Alright, that works. I hate going for ganks like that where it relies on your laner to play well. But, I mean, at the end of the day, a kill is a kill, right? Yo, what's up, Reignite? The old rune system, I don't even know if the old rune system had anything to do with it. I mean, old Phoenix was viable for a lot of reasons. Well, for one, farming actually mattered. Back in, you know, the old jungle. You know, you could be 3 levels ahead of everybody in the game if you farmed well enough. Vertical jungling wasn't really a strategy that you saw back then. Usually it was just do a full clear and then rinse and repeat. I mean, you could vertical jungle if you wanted, but vertical jungling is much more like a... Ever since Krugs got strong, more people just do red side clears and then look to vertical jungle. That's usually what the game plan is for most junglers right now. Sejuani does that, you know, Kha'Zix, Rengar. A lot of these champions just do red side clears and then play it by ear after that, so... You know, Phoenix doesn't really excel at that, because, I mean, the thing is, like, Phoenix can do red side clears pretty quick, but the problem you have with that is... I don't know if we'll actually be able to kill him here. I'm out of mana, so I can't keep chasing. I don't know, she's got flash, so I'm playing it... I want to see what she does, and then we'll see where it goes from there. If I get this crab, we'll get mana back, and I'll also level up at the same time, which will be really good. What is Zoe doing? Right, I'm gonna go back to base now. Yeah, I mean, going 30% attack speed helped a lot, too. But, I mean, even with the current rune system, which is worse for Phoenix, you still get 10% right at level 1, and then you also get 3% from Alacrity. So at the start of the game, you get 13% attack speed right out of the gate, which helps. In my opinion, like, I don't know. I think Phoenix is just not as strong because Feral Flare isn't in the game, and Jungle XP as a whole got nerfed. Because, I mean, Phoenix out-tempos any version of Udyr when it comes to farming. But, you know, back then, you could actually get to a decent level. You know? You could be 3 levels ahead of everybody in the game, and you could farm faster than them.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Because, I mean, that's all what it came down to. And on top of that, dragons were a lot different back then, too. Another reason why Phoenix worked so well is back in the day, dragons gave global gold, right? So you would farm really fast, and then you'd go do dragons right at 5 minutes, give everybody on your team global gold, and then just reset, full cleared up 2 times, do another dragon, rinse and repeat. Meanwhile, the entire time you'd be stacking Feral Flare, You know, you'd just be getting free damage, pretty much. Every time you cleared your jungle, you'd be getting extra damage, so that way, you know, it was literally a giant snowball. You would get more damage, so you farm faster, so then, you know, you get stronger. If she can stall out long enough, we definitely win this 2v2. She has to stall it out. It was worded that was why. I was wondering why Jarvan turned around so quick there. Alright, my top priority should be getting the dragon. So I'm probably going to do blue buff, get the crab, and then go look to do dragon is the plan. Could also reset here and get my warrior enchant, which would be not that bad of an option, actually. If I do that, then we do that, then we'll get to our red buff right when it spawns with a fresh warrior enchant, and we'll have flash up, so probably do that. Yeah, I mean, true. Like, the old rune system, getting that extra attack speed means you literally didn't have to put any points into Tiger for Phoenix, which helped out a lot. Don't get me wrong, but all I'm saying, it was more so, I think the reason Phoenix used to be so much stronger is the meta. And right now, the meta is very hyper-aggressive gank, snowball, you know, vertical jungle if you have to. And I mean, Phoenix fits well against people like Nunu and Sejuani. I actually think Phoenix is a great pick into champions like that, but great. Do I actually just have to flash out here? I think I do. That's so sad.
An ally has been slain.
How did Ezreal... What? I really just want the dragon, man. I'm a higher level than Jarvan, so... We're the dragon boys. Oh, did Kale not have ult? Kale didn't have ult there, man.
Killing spree.
I need Zoe to be the first in this bush, because... a little bit concerning. Actually, fuck, I just walked into that. Rip. I think if I dodge that bubble, we catch her with Blue Smite, but I don't have boots, so that's kind of hard for me to deal with right now. What's up, Willie? Yo, what's up, Jake? Old Phoenix takes 15%. True. And I mean, another thing is Phoenix got nerfed, right? They took off a tick from Phoenix, which is a big deal if you don't know. It means it takes 2 Phoenix cycles now to kill Krugs instead of 1. Because you don't get the extra tick on the big Krug. Also, Krugs were different. You didn't have this whole, like, 2 Krugs pop out type shit. It was actually just a Krug camp, so you could kill it immediately. I just watched your last video and you talked about drinking and smoking briefly, and it got me to thinking, who's your smoking buddy? My roommate for now, actually. My roommate is a beast. Y'all think I smoke a lot? Man. He doesn't even smoke that much. He just takes way bigger hits. You know what I'm saying? I guess that does mean he smokes more than me, but... You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't do it that frequently. It's just... He's good about it. I'm not talking about Wes. Sorry. I have 2 roommates, if you don't know. One of them is Wes, who's RTO. The other one is the one that smokes a lot with me. Sorry. Hunter, yeah. Hunter's my boy. But I mean, it's honestly like, streaming is the dream life, man. And that's why I'm like, it's one of those things where I want, like, even if I make dirt cheap, like no money at all, I'm still going to try and do it, because it's like, my lifestyle, it's like, I wake up, I go to the gym sometimes, not every time, right? We got to be careful, the enemy mid's missing. But, wake up, drink, smoke, play video games, and then after that, or after each stream, I usually either get drunk or high, depending on what I'm feeling like. Like, if we're going out, I'll usually get drunk, but if I want to chill, I get high, and then go to bed, wake up, gym, stream, rinse and repeat. Although one thing I am trying to work on is I'm trying to like reduce the amount of free time I have each day, because normally what I do is I have like an 8 to 9 hour work day, quote unquote, and then after that I watch Netflix or just hang out or whatever. But I'm trying to get that up to like 10, 11 hours each day. Give myself, I think 5 hours is a good window, right? Because the gym is going to take at minimum each day probably 2 hours, right? Then we're going to have to cook for 1 hour, and that leaves me 2 hours to sit around and do whatever, right? Which I think is a good trade-off. At the end of the day, I do want to start putting it, like, I want to put in more time, and I'm kind of sad, like, I feel like I could milk the YouTube game a little bit more. It's not that I feel like I'm actually not that bad when it comes to YouTube, but I do have moments there where, like, there's a 2 to 3 day period where I just don't upload. And it hurts you a lot more than you realize. It's like streaming, right? I try and stream every day because it is very apparent to me when I skip a day, because I can definitely tell a note or like a change in the viewership just one day too. Like, imagine if that was where's Jarvan? Jarvan has to be here, right? There's no way they're playing this far up without him being here.
An ally has been slain. Killing spree.
Oh no.
Ally has been slain.
I messed that up so hard, actually. Jarvan comes in here. I was going to say, I can fight in the river because I'll get mana back. I messed it up. This Nami is actually pretty good about landing bubbles. He's landed a lot so far. Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa, lol. I can't remember who. I was watching an interview with Snoop Dogg one time. Apparently there's only one person that he claims has ever outsmoked him. I can't remember who it was, though. But there's like a celebrity that's really famous for smoking. He's like a country singer, I think. He's really famous for just how much he smokes.
Turret plating will fall soon.
But Snoop said he's the only one. Where do I live? I live in Oklahoma. Marvin Gaye, something like that. It would definitely not be Marvin Gaye, but... Phoenix can take 13% with the new rune system, so it is not that different now. That's funny. Yeah, I don't actually think the runes are the reason why Phoenix is not as strong. I was laughing. I was looking at win rates for Udyr on one of the websites. I can't remember which website it was. But I was looking at the win rates. The highest win rate right now for Udyr is Runic Echoes, at least for Phoenix Udyr, is Runic Echoes into Nashor's Tooth, actually.
Shut down.
Do anything! Good lord, I'm sorry. Misses her Q like 3 times there. She missed the Q on the volley, and then she also missed it on the Kale. It's like, do anything, dude. Are you kidding me? Just gonna let me bend over like that? Alright. I was watching this show the other day. It's called Spartacus. And by the other day, I mean like a month ago, because I've already seen it. But regardless, I was watching a show. And one of his friends, they're like 2 slave friends, alright? Because they're slaves. The show is set back in like Rome. Right? These 2 slave friends get in an argument where like, or it's not even an argument, but whatchamacallit has like the house owner or like the owner of the slaves has friends over, and one of the guys, like one of the people they invited over, he's just really into gay sex. And so one of his friends, so you have these 2 slaves, and you know, one slave thinks that they're friends, and the other one hates the other guy's guts. But regardless, the point of the story is one slave sells out his friend into another owner, because like the owner's walking around, or like the friend of the owner, he's walking around, he's like, yeah, so I'm looking for slaves that like gay sex. And one of the guys was like, yeah, my friend over here loves it because he hates his friend in reality. They're just friends. And so the point of me saying this is my Nico just did that to me. against the Kale. She sees the Kale. Kale's like, yes, hi. I like gay people. And Nico's like, oh, perfect. I've got just the man. Hello, what's up, Guidus? How you doing, man? I feel like Kale should be free ganks. I think I should have ganked her a lot more this game.
An enemy has been slain.
This is toxic. Oh, no, no. Oh, you... What's up, Taylor Gang? Thank you so much. 2 months already. Taylor Gang, thank you so much. Welcome back. Enjoy your stay. Enjoy the penis growth. Thank you for being here. To be honest, I just realized that's why it's so hard for me to gank bot this game. I've tried ganking bot a lot, and it just hasn't worked out. You want to know why? It's because they have Nami Sivir. They just are so fast. That would honestly explain a lot as to why I can't deal with them. Jolene. Dude, Jolene. Jolene's supposed to be the anthem, but here's the thing is I don't play Jolene often when I stream because I feel like if I overplay it, then it's going to lose like that special... Because right now if Jolene goes on, the boys go ham, right? Because I know it's kind of like the song we listen to when we're trying to pop off or whatever, right? But if I play it every day, then it's going to be like, oh, just another Jolene day, I guess. Like that, I don't know. So we got the Triforce spike, which is good. We're glass cannon, but we do a lot of damage. One thing I learned a very hard way from last game was you just have to go Triforce if you're trying to carry. I just can't carry without it. I wish I could, but... You know, because the big thing that Triforce gives that I think I like really underestimate is the movement speed. The 5% movement speed makes a world of a difference when it comes to like catching people. This gank does not happen if I don't have Triforce, just so you know. I can't catch Nami Sivir without boots and the movement speed. Another thing that gives movement speed, by the way, which is apparently really good, Wit's End. I did not know that it gave just flat movement speed like that. I think if you do this build and throw in a Deadman's, it would actually be a really good build. Maybe Deadman's like after Triforce just to get a little bit of tank going. But I mean, this build gives you all the damage you need to carry, and then on top of that, you get 10% movement speed between Wit's End and Triforce, and you get the Deadman's movement speed, so it becomes a lot easier to deal with people that kite you. Alright, here's the real question. Do we have a Mountain Dragon? No. Can I finish this Rift Herald in 10 seconds? I think I can. I think it goes away at 1950. Perfect. That's that young Tiger DPS. Alright, I'm gonna go for the, let's go for Infernal Dragon, shall we? God, that recurve bow actually just... Your DPS is so high on Udyr with this build. Alright, what I just did there, and a lot of people actually don't know you can do that, but if you input buffer the stun on Jarvan, you can actually stun him as he's like flying through you or whatever.
Unstoppable. Double kill.
Well, I guess they're all just gonna run into an Udyr with 11 kills. We can probably get mid inhibitor. I think it's better to get the inhibitor if we can over the Baron.
Godlike. Double kill.
I don't think we'll be able to get the inhib. Rip. Whatever. I would have loved to get the inhib off that push, because, I mean, if you have mid inhibitor down, it's so good for Baron control, but, oh well. We got a lot of gold there regardless. It's honestly the double Infernal. I'm trying to think, like, why we got this fed. I literally just think it's Infernal Dragon, and then on top of that, I just ganked bot a lot, so we got kind of lucky there. Alright, let me see, dude. That feels so good. The 5% movement speed from both. That's so good. And obviously Witsin gives you the on-hit damage as well. So between Triforce, because we also have Celerity, you got to remember that. So every time we get either Witsin or Triforce, we're just getting like 5 free movement speed around the map. And like I said, if I can get to Deadman's, I think this build will be really, really strong on Tiger Udyr. I don't think it'll be a great high elo build. That's what I'm thinking about. But, I mean, at low elo, the problem I had is I did Warrior Sterix last game, and I just couldn't carry with it. I just didn't have enough damage. And even though my team was, like, really, really bad, I probably could have carried them last game because I had so much gold. Honestly, I kind of just want to get below the 50% threshold, so that way I can just heal from Wits In.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down. Triple kill.
Apparently, Ezreal just got a triple kill. Pogs. I mean, I've got that movement speed, like I said. Aw, rip. I was kind of hoping if I could have transitioned onto that Sivir, I would have lived there because of the Wits End healing. I also need, I really, really need armor. If you look at what I died to, it was nothing but armor. Or physical damage, rather. But whatever.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Zoe, yeah, no. That Zoe was making me laugh, her just bouncing back and forth like that. Maybe that's my problem, man. I swear at high elo, like, I psych myself out too much. Like, if I just went this build every game at high elo, I probably would climb. It's just, I feel like at high elo, I play so much safer, and that's honestly my problem. If I just played aggressive, and just played exactly like I played this game, and just focus on controlling, like, the map, not necessarily the ganks, I guarantee I could probably get Challenger again. Because, I mean, this build works so well on Udyr. And Udyr can abuse Wits In pretty much better than any other melee champion in the game. Not every other. Like, Jax can probably use it pretty well, but I don't know. It works really, really well with Tiger. What I'm trying to say. Because the thing about Udyr is, like, if you get an attack speed item, it's not like, for example, Wits In gives 50% attack speed. What that actually should say is you get 50% more damage. Because all your attacks come from auto-attacking.
Unstoppable.
It's about to be a disgusting fight.
Kill. Dominating. Triple kill. Your team has destroyed a
Pogs, boys. We got the level 16 turtle.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
I leveled up turtle there, actually, like, instinctively. I didn't mean to put 6 points in it, but whatever.
Your team
The crazy part to me is this game was actually with just nerfed Tiger or whatever. The like this is weaker than last patch because I didn't get to level 16 yet.